그녀는 신약 성서에 등장하는 인물 가운데 가장 신비롭고 많은 오해를 받은 인물입니다.
Mary Magdalene is the messenger, the apostle to the apostles.
Where did she come from? Who is she? And then she just disappears.
수세기 동안 숨겨져 있던 비밀 문서를 보면 그녀가 예수에게 어떤 의미였는지 알 수 있을지도 모릅니다.
What we find in the secret Gospels is that Mary Magdalene is regarded as one of the major disciples.
There's a text called the Gospel of Philip that says Jesus loved Mary Magdalene and he used to kiss her often on the blank.
과연 그녀에 얽힌 진실이 얼마나 위협적이길래 그녀의 제자들은 십자군 전쟁까지 일으켰을까요?
Everywhere I've looked, there's opposition to Mary. When I see so much opposition to somebody, I know that person is important.
Mary told us that Jesus was raised from the dead. She is the most important person in the New Testament.
You could make the argument that Mary Magdalene started Christianity.
(1208년) 프랑스 남부에서 로마 교황은 교회의 분노를 표출했습니다. 기독교의 한 종파인 순결파 신자들에 대항하는 십자군 전쟁이 일어났죠.
They were deeply spiritual people, and physically they posed no threat to anybody. But theologically they posed a tremendous threat to the church.
순결파 신자들이 주장하는 영지주의는 가톨릭 교회에서 이단으로 간주됐습니다.
They all insisted that knowledge is the way of salvation. Not faith in Christ, but knowledge, knowing the true secrets that Christ revealed.
They believed that every human had a divine spark, and therefore your purpose was basically to kindle that and go from there. You didn't need an intermediary. They were very much, in that sense, very much opposed to the Catholic Church.
로마는 이에 분개했습니다. 1209년 7월 22일 프랑스의 베지에가 포위됐습니다. 십자군을 피해 달아난 순결파 신자들은 그들이 가장 존경하는 성인의 이름을 가진 성 막달라 마리아 교회에 숨었습니다.
This is a crusade that lasted for about 35 years, so the number of Catholics who might have been killed could be 100,000.
어떻게 성서에서 이름조차 거의 언급되지 않는 막달라 마리아가 이단을 촉발시킨 걸까요? 과연 영지주의자들은 그녀의 어떤 면 때문에 로마 교황청의 공격을 받게 된 걸까요?
They thought that your transference to the spiritual world was dependent on gaining insight, knowledge, gnosis, and changed behavior. Other aspects of it were very threatening to the church. The fact that women were given almost complete equality, not only in the priesthood but in society as a whole. They believed that Mary Magdalene was the wife of Jesus.
The church has been around for a very long time and seen many ideas, theories, speculations come and go. But ideas about Jesus being married, there's really no textual basis at all.
The church does not accept that Jesus was married and had children. It's dogmatically a heretical idea.
신약 성서의 4개의 복음서에는 예수가 결혼을 했다고 적혀 있지 않지만 막달라 마리아가 예수와 특별한 관계였다고 명시돼 있습니다. 마르코 복음서에 따르면 막달라 마리아는 예수가 십자가에 못 박힐 때 등장했습니다.
In the Gospels, Mary Magdalene is the most mysterious character. She's never mentioned until the last few hours of Jesus' life. He's on the cross. And Mark, our earliest gospel, says, at the cross was Mary Magdalene and another Mary, naming her first. That's the first time we ever hear about her.
안식일이 지나자 막달라 마리아와 야고보의 어머니 마리아와 살로메는 향료를 들고 무덤으로 갔습니다. 마르코복음 16장 1절입니다.
So she's going to anoint the body with the mother, with the sister, And to lay out a naked corpse and to wash that corpse and anoint it and prepare it with spices and oil for burial is an act of the most intimate kind. If you think about it, this is amazingly intriguing. Where did she come from? Who is she? Why is she taking on this role? And the one word that just stands out really is intimacy. She's in with the family.
3일 후 예수의 무덤을 찾았다가 부활한 예수를 본 그녀는 본능적으로 손을 뻗었습니다.
I love the Gospel of John's version the best, where Mary wants to touch Jesus, and I find it incredibly moving. If this person who you loved seems to be alive again, wouldn't you want to touch that person's body to reassure yourself of that living person's presence?
It's true, historically, that Mary Magdalene was the first to claim that Jesus was no longer dead, that Jesus had been raised from the dead. You could make the argument that Mary Magdalene started Christianity.
And then she just disappears. Now, if she's the first witness to the resurrection, which according to the Gospels she is, she's the first one to claim to see Jesus alive. You know, why did she disappear? It should make us suspicious that something's going on. But that's all we get in the New Testament. We have to go to other sources to get the rest of the story.
예수가 세상을 떠난 지 2000년이 지난 후 막달라 마리아가 등장한 수세기 동안 숨겨져 왔던 자료가 밝혀졌습니다. 영지주의 복음서가 이집트의 사막에서 발견됐죠. 이 복음서에는 막달라 마리아가 중요하게 다뤄질 뿐 아니라 교회에서 전해져 내려오는 성서의 내용보다 훨씬 다양한 내용이 담겨 있습니다.
It's quite clear that when Christians were telling stories about Jesus after his death, they made up stories about him and they altered the stories that they were telling. All you have to do is take a story that's found in the Gospel of Matthew and compare it with the same account in Mark, and then compare it with Luke, and then especially compare it with John. And inevitably when you do that, when you compare them in detail, you'll find discrepancies. You'll find contradictions.
Over the 2,000 years of the history of Christianity, there has been a systematic purging of stories that don't fit, or versions of Jesus that don't fit the Orthodox image.
이른바 영지주의 복음서는 마테오, 마르코, 루가, 요한 복음서와 같은 시대에 작성됐지만 예수와 막달라 마리아의 관계에 대해 전혀 다르게 묘사하고 있습니다.
Mary Magdalene has this incredible role. She's the companion of Jesus. It's not just one text, it's half a dozen texts.
비밀 복음서와 성서에 실린 4개의 복음서를 보면 막달라 마리아가 예수와 특별한 관계였으며 보통 이상의 관계였을지도 모른다고 추정해 볼 수 있습니다.
Most Christian tradition assumes that Jesus was single and celibate. The suggestion in these other Gospels that he had a lover and partner, as far as I can tell, is usually taken symbolically. It's possible he was married, but we simply don't know.
영지주의 복음서로 추정되는 둘의 관계는 생각과는 다를 수도 있습니다.
There's a text called the Gospel of Philip that says Jesus loved Mary Magdalene and he used to kiss her often. That hints that there's something more going on.
그녀는 신약 성서에서 가장 신비로운 인물입니다. 그녀의 이름조차도 수수께끼죠. 예수가 말씀을 전했던 이스라엘의 갈릴리 근처에는 막달라 마리아의 고향으로 추정되는 미그달 마을이 있습니다.
We are now standing at the earliest synagogue in the Galilee, dated to the 1st century AD.
성서 고고학자 디나 고니는 미그달에서 막달라 마리아의 정체와 역할이 무엇이었는지 찾고 있습니다.
This place tells us lots about Mary Magdalene's life. We know where she lives, the street that she was walking, what coin she used. This excavation, these finds, gives us a very colorful picture about her life and the place that you were living in and her time.
꾸니는 막달라 마리아를 찾다가 예수가 방문했을지도 모르는 2000년이 넘은 회당을 발견했습니다.
Usually, when they were building a synagogue, it was located in the middle of the village. But here, it's different, and it's located at the edge, close to Capernaum, which from the Christian sources, we know that Jesus were visiting there. You can see how close everything is. It's evidence that you cannot ignore. We have here the place that Mary Magdalena and Jesus sat here in Israel, next to the Sea of Galilee. And that was their gathering house, and their special community lives here in this synagogue. It's amazing.
미그달에서 예수와 막달라 마리아가 함께 살면서 제자들을 보살폈다는 가설은 꽤 그럴듯합니다. 하지만 그녀가 죽은 지 2000년이나 지난 지금 그녀가 예수와 어떤 관계였고 기독교의 시작에 어떤 역할을 했는지는 확인할 길이 없습니다.
What we know from the Gospels is that she was probably the most important woman follower of Jesus. She was a witness of the resurrection, and she tells the male apostles about it. She is the messenger, the apostle to the apostles.
성서에서 가장 중요한 인물 중 하나인데도 불구하고 성서에는 그녀가 몇 살인지, 결혼은 했는지, 가족 관계는 어떤지 전혀 나와 있지 않습니다. 하지만 여러 가지 정황상 그녀는 예수와 친밀한 관계를 가진 특별한 제자였습니다.
Luke chapter 8 verses 1 through 3. Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Susanna are three wealthy women who will have contributed funds so Jesus and his disciples can survive.
예수께서는 12제자와 악령과 질병에 시달리다 나은 여인들을 데리고 다니셨습니다. 그들 중에는 7 마귀가 나간 막달라 마리아가 있었습니다.
That's all it says about Mary Magdalene in all 4 Gospels prior to Jesus' death.
She's not called by her husband. She's not called by her father. So she's important.
It's literally Mary the Magdalena. So what does that mean? Or the Magdalene. The word Migdal means tower. So it's possible it means Mary the Tower. Jesus renamed almost all his followers, like Peter means the rock. His actual name is Simon. And if it's Mary the Tower, that would indicate that he's giving her some very positive designation. Just like he called Peter the rock, a tower is a tower of strength.
이는 막달라 마리아가 예수의 제자들 가운데서 탑과 같은 존재였다는 뜻일지도 모릅니다. 비밀 복음서에는 이를 뒷받침하는 증거가 있습니다. (1954년) 이집트의 나그 함마디에 있는 사막에서 농부들이 막달라 마리아의 중요한 역할을 증명할 만한 자료를 발견했습니다.
A group of men were digging for fertilizer. They accidentally uncovered a jar. Inside the jar were 13 books. These books contained a collection of writings. Each of the books was a small anthology. Altogether, 52 writings represented in these books. Scholars were amazed because there's a collection of Gnostic writings, many of which had not been known of before. And so this was a new discovery that transformed our understanding of early Christianity. Because before this time, we had known about Gnostics only from the writings of their enemies, the Church Fathers.
We think that the texts that were found in Upper Egypt were buried in the 4th century, probably to preserve them, by somebody who knew that the Bishop of Egypt didn't like these writings.
영지주의 복음서는 성서에 실린 복음서와 같은 시기에 쓰여졌지만 여기에는 기독교에서 삭제한 내용이 담겨 있습니다. 영지주의 복음서에는 막달라 마리아와 예수의 관계를 전혀 다르게 묘사하고 있습니다. 그녀는 엄청난 영향력을 가진 제자였죠.
What we find in the secret Gospels is that Mary Magdalene is regarded as one of the major disciples and followers of Jesus, a privileged person who is one of his inner circle. But the Gospels of the New Testament always insist Mary was not part of the inner circle. The inner circle was Peter, James, and John. And those Gospels which picture only men as people of authority in the churches are the only ones that survive.
The New Testament's written by men. It's for men and about men, with statements about women that are very negative, particularly in the letters of Paul. And as the church became more institutionalized, I think taking up these structures was simply reflective of what was around them.
2세기에 예수를 믿는 신도들은 로마의 공격 대상이었습니다. 기독교도들은 감옥에 갇히거나 처형되거나 콜로세움에서 사자밥이 되기도 했습니다.
When people were being arrested, they were being harassed, they were beaten, hounded in the marketplaces, arrested and killed and tortured because they were Christians.
갈리아의 이레네오 주교는 초기 기독교를 하나로 통합해 힘을 모았습니다.
Bishop Irenaeus said, look, let's get down to what's basic about the Christian faith, what everybody believes, the sort of lowest common denominator, and we'll unite. But Irenaeus invented the idea of Christian censorship. He said there are some things you shouldn't read, you should never hear about. So he wanted to make sure that the church had a monopoly on the truth and dispensing the truth, teaching it. He said some of these gospels claim to have secret teaching in them. We don't want that. There was no secret teaching. We're only going to talk about the public teaching of Jesus.
이레네오 주교는 영지주의를 탄압하면서 대중들에게 공개하기에 적당한 복음서를 골랐습니다.
Writing around the year 180 or 185, he insisted that there were 4 and only 4 Gospels.
You can't have more than 4 and you can't have fewer than 4. You have to have these 4.
And his logic may not seem convincing to modern readers. Irenaeus said that there have to be 4 Gospels because the gospel of Christ was spread through the 4 corners of the earth by the 4 winds of heaven, and so there have to be 4 Gospels. And so it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
The New Testament canon takes final shape in the mid-300s, by which time Christianity has become the dominant religion of the Roman Empire, and thus Christian leadership roles are basically male, just as they were in the empire as a whole.
1500년 동안 마테오, 마르코, 루가, 요한복음은 예수의 말씀을 전하는 복음서가 됐습니다. 막달라 마리아와 예수의 가르침에 대한 급진적인 내용을 담은 영지주의 복음서는 강제로 땅에 묻히게 됐죠. 하지만 이 복음서가 공개되자 강한 반발이 일어났습니다.
The Catholic Church called a crusade against fellow Christians. It was a license to rape, to pillage, and to plunder.
도마복음, 마리아복음, 빌립복음은 신약 성서에 실리지 않았습니다. 1세기 작성된 복음서를 포함한 이 영지주의 복음서에는 막달라 마리아에 대한 묘사가 성서의 내용과 전혀 다릅니다.
A whole collection of early Christian writings attributed to Jesus and the disciples were found, and they contain a lot of dialogue, like what Jesus said to Mary Magdalene, what Jesus said to Peter, and dialogue that Jesus had with his disciples after the resurrection. Because many of the texts that were found were disliked by leaders of the church, they were declared heretical.
영지주의 복음서에는 막달라 마리아와 예수의 관계가 전혀 다르게 묘사되어 있습니다.
There's a text called the Gospel of Philip that says Jesus loved Mary Magdalene and he used to kiss her often on the blank. Unfortunately, there's a hole in the text right when we wish it would finish. It probably said on the mouth or something like that, that hints that there's something more going on.
교회에서는 예수와 막달라 마리아가 부부였다는 것보다도 마리아가 초기 기독교의 지도자였다는 사실을 숨기려고 했습니다.
Mary Magdalene appears as one of the special disciples. She was the woman who understood everything. So she appears in many, many texts as one with special, close knowledge of Jesus and deep knowledge of his teaching. That view of Mary is completely suppressed in Orthodox churches.
I I think that Mary Magdalene was simply one of the devoted followers of Jesus. The Gospels speak of a number of women who are followers of Jesus. Jesus is open to people that a religious teacher, a rabbi shouldn't be.
예수는 가난한 사람, 병자들과 여자들처럼 사회에서 버림받은 사람들을 껴안았습니다.
If you look at the very beginning of the Christian movement, you see that he's speaking often to women in ways that offend his disciples. A lot of people who came to that movement were attracted to it were women.
과연 막달라 마리아는 그렇게 중요한 존재였을까요? 심지어 그녀의 이름을 딴 복음서도 있습니다.
The Gospel of Mary opens with the disciples grieving and discouraged after the death of Jesus. And they're very worried that since Jesus got killed, they're going to get killed. They're afraid. And the person who stands up courageously is Mary. She encourages them and speaks to them and acts like a major apostle.
The Gospel of Mary, which was an early Gnostic gospel that portrayed Mary as one to whom Jesus gave a revelation that she then tells to the male disciples before they start arguing among themselves whether it would be possible that Jesus could have given this to a woman.
Peter says, well, sister, tell us some of the things the Lord said to you, because he loved you more than other women. And she says, well, Peter, I'll tell you some of the things he said to me that were hidden from you. And at that point, she proceeds to say, yes, he told me these things, and I'm going to reveal them now to you. And Peter is furious and says, would he talk to her, a woman, and not to us? Did he love her more than us? And in this gospel, the answer is yes. And Peter's very offended. And another disciple says, Peter, you're always irritable. You treat the woman like our enemies do. Surely the Lord knew her very well. He loved her very much. And that's why he loved her more than us. So at the end of the Gospel of Mary, they all say Mary's welcome to preach, and they all go out together preaching. That gospel is not in the New Testament because it endorses the idea of a woman as a leader, a spokesman, and a teacher.
Mary Magdalene is without doubt the most important person in the New Testament. In order to become a Christian, you have to believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins and that he was raised from the dead after 3 days. If you believe that, you're a Christian. And who told us that Jesus was raised from the dead after 3 days and that the tomb was found empty? This is what Mary did. So she's the real founder of Christianity.
So it's possible that Mary was one of an inner circle, and all the sources that speak of Mary Magdalene in that way as someone who was close to Jesus, all of those don't like Peter. So you have groups of sources, some that like Peter very much and not Mary, some that like Mary very much and not Peter. Some of the texts that don't, like the Gospel of Mary, which have Mary speaking for herself, that kind of writing will not survive in an organization that's becoming increasingly dominated by men. And by the end of the 2nd century, it's all about men in positions of authority.
I believe the early fathers didn't want to squish the female importance within the church. I just think they needed a simple message to get across.
313년, 콘스탄틴 왕제는 기독교의 변혁을 일으켰습니다. 남성이 지배하는 기독교는 로마의 국교가 됐죠. 비밀 복음서는 사막에 묻혀졌고 신도들은 이단으로 낙인 찍혔습니다. 그리고 막달라 마리아는 성녀에서 죄인으로 전락하게 됐죠.
It's become fixed in the Western tradition that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute and forgotten that she was not.
Her reputation got ruined, and I think it's lasted unto this day.
초기 기독교에서 막달라 마리아는 사도들에게 말씀을 전달한 예수의 사랑받는 제자였습니다. 하지만 391년 9월 14일 교황 그레고리 1세는 막달라 마리아를 매춘부라고 불렀습니다.
We can really date that to Gregory the Great and a sermon about Mary Magdalene, where he conflates Mary Magdalene with the woman of a city, a sinner, who anoints Jesus' feet in the Gospel of Luke.
형제 여러분, 그녀는 고약을 이용해 자신의 살냄새를 풍기며 금지된 행위를 하던 자입니다.
And so Mary Magdalene gets attached to the story of the woman of the city, a sinner who anoints Jesus' feet, and that gets her turned into a prostitute.
This interpretation carried a lot of weight, and it became the standard interpretation then down through the Middle Ages until today, when people naturally think that Mary Magdalene was the prostitute.
If you took interviews today on the street, I guarantee you ask 9 out of 10 people, what do you know about Mary Magdalene? Wasn't she a prostitute that Jesus saved? So her reputation got ruined, and I think it's lasted unto this day.
오랜 세월 동안 시인들과 화가들은 막달라 마리아의 성을 강조했고, 나체에 늘어진 그녀의 붉고 긴 머리칼은 유혹과 구원의 상징이었습니다. 십자가에 매달리신 예수를 그린 작품에서도 막달라 마리아를 제외한 다른 여자들만 머리에 수건을 쓰고 있습니다. 머리를 풀어내린 막달라 마리아의 모습을 학자들은 타락한 여인의 상징이라고 여기기도 하죠.
It's become fixed in the Western tradition that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, and forgotten that she was not.
그녀의 이미지는 왜 이렇게 변하게 된 것일까요? 그레고리 1세는 마테오 복음과 마르코 복음보다 나중에 쓰여진 루가 복음을 증거로 제시했습니다.
Luke does not like Mary Magdalene. When he mentions the women at the cross, he doesn't even give her a name. He just says there were some women at the cross. And he knows perfectly well that Mark has already named the women at the cross, putting her first.
마르코 복음 15장 40절. 그 중에는 막달라 마리아와 야고보의 어머니 마리아가 있었습니다.
Luke then tells a story about a sinful woman who comes to a dinner party that Jesus is attending, and she's basically a street prostitute. She's not identified by name. And she washes his feet with her tears and dries them with her hair, which would be a very inappropriate act, for a male in that society to allow this sort of behavior. And the host of the dinner criticizes Jesus, and he says, if he were a prophet, he would know that this is a prostitute touching him. He doesn't seem to care.
This is an unnamed woman. She's not Mary Magdalene, not called Mary Magdalene. It's only later when people said, oh yes, that woman must be Mary Magdalene, that you ended up with the composite figure of Mary Magdalene, the one who finds the empty tomb, is also the woman of ill repute who anointed Jesus' feet.
복음서에서 최고의 제자로 묘사됐던 막달라 마리아를 왜 예수가 죽은 지 500년이 지난 후에 한 교황이 성녀를 죄인으로 전락시킨 걸까요?
We know that Christianity developed in an interesting way this theory that sinners can repent, and particularly prostitutes can repent. Of course, once you make her a sinner, she's a sinner. Once you do that, you've taken most of her faculties and most of her redeeming features, and then she can't be the founder of Christianity because she's just a prostitute.
What this does for Christianity is it removes her completely from any possibility of being the close, intimate leader. Why is that a threat? If Jesus did put into a leadership position a woman next to or above Peter and James and John and the other apostles, this would completely rewrite the founding of Christianity. The place of women would suddenly become a place of leadership, a place of spiritual insight, a place of intimacy and closeness to Jesus.
Mary is a very, very important disciple of Jesus. And part of the evidence for that is a sort of a gathering antagonism in the New Testament and then in the tradition afterwards against Mary. She's already described in the New Testament as having had 7 devils, which I gather is not a compliment. Later, not in the New Testament, she's equated with the prostitute. So it seems to me that everywhere I've looked, there's opposition to Mary. When I see so much opposition to somebody, I know that person is important.
The
Vatican, to this day and age, would not see a hierarchical reality where women are part of that spreading of the gospel. Is the church still challenged by the message of a greater role of women within the church to this day? Most definitely.
막달라 마리아를 탄압하던 교회는 점차적으로 막달라 마리아의 추종자들을 탄압하기 시작했습니다. 프랑스에서는 예수가 죽은 지 1000년이 지난 후에 영지주의 순결파 신자들이 나타났고 막달라 마리아를 숭배했으며 교황과 로마의 권력을 부인했습니다. 결국 그들은 모두 죽었죠. 6세기경 막달라 마리아의 이미지는 급격하게 변형됐습니다. 예수의 부활을 목격한 여인에서 예수를 통해 결국 교회를 통해 구원을 얻은 저급한 매춘부가 됐죠.
Christians for a long time have thought that Mary Magdalene was once a prostitute. There's actually nothing in the Gospels that suggests that.
하지만 오래전에 사라졌다가 1950년대에야 발견된 마리아 복음서와 빌립 복음서에는 그녀가 예수와 비밀을 공유하는 특별한 제자였다고 적혀 있습니다. 베드로는 막달라 마리아에게 예수께서 하신 말씀 중 우리가 듣지 못해서 알지 못하는 말씀을 말해보라고 했다. 마리아는 네가 알지 못했던 것을 알려주겠다고 말했다. 마리아 복음서.
The Gnostic Gospels portray Jesus not as somebody who died and rose again for sins, but as somebody who conveyed secret knowledge, the knowledge of which can bring about salvation. These books were seen to be as dangerous by early Orthodox church fathers.
313년 로마에서 기독교가 국교로 제정되면서 영지주의 복음서는 땅에 묻혔습니다. 하지만 그 복음서의 말씀과 예수와 막달라 마리아에 관한 내용은 수세기가 지난 지금까지 전해지고 있죠. 13세기 프랑스 남부에서는 기독교의 종파인 순결파 신자들이 급증했습니다.
As the Catholic religion was a much more liberating situation, we said you can change your behavior, you can learn, you can progress at your own speed. There is no compunction. Your sole duty was to travel and nurture people.
Catholics were very strong in the feminine principle. Probably the most holy figure they had was Mary Magdalene.
그들은 막달라 마리아를 찬양했고 그녀가 예수의 아내라고 믿었습니다. 초기 영지주의 신도들처럼 이들은 구원을 찾지 않았죠.
What seems to be threatening is the idea that you or I could find our way to God because of some internal potential. If you can do that on your own, you don't need the church. You don't need the bishop. You don't need the sacraments. And that's threatening to an institution that wants to claim that it offers the sole vehicle for salvation.
이러한 믿음으로 순결파 신자들은 바티칸과 교황 이노첸시오 3세의 공격을 받았습니다.
It's not so much about the message. I think the crucial thing about Christianity is that Jesus is the Redeemer. Christianity is about the person of Christ, not so much the teaching. The Gnostic and the Cathar vision of the world is radically at odds with Christianity. The Pope's response was to call a crusade against the Cathars.
바티칸에서 일으킨 십자군 전쟁은 200년 전에도 일어났습니다.
And a crusade is normally only called against unbelievers, not against fellow Christians.
They wanted the Cathars gone. So when they launched the attack, it was pretty ruthless. I mean, they came in and took the first city they took. They decimated every man, woman, and child without exception. And if you were killed, one thing, but if otherwise you were burned alive. They would put them in cages and light the cages afire. So there was no really, this was not, they weren't trying to impose democracy or anything.
전투를 마친 십자군은 죄를 뉘우치지 않으면 이렇게 된다고 보여주기 위해 순결파 신자들의 코와 윗입술을 잘랐습니다.
It's a license to rob, to rape, to pillage, and to kill, and to plunder. That war went on for 30 years, a war of incredible brutality.
성 막달라 마리아 교회에 숨어있던 순결파 신자들을 탄압하기 전에 교황 아르노 아말릭은 십자군에게 남김없이 죽이고 신께서 처리하게 하라고 명령했습니다. 순결파 신자 남자와 여자, 어린이 수십만 명이 고문을 당하고 처형당했습니다. 순결파를 제거한 후에도 로마에서는 교회의 교리를 거스르는 자들을 폭력으로 탄압했습니다.
The church then instituted the Inquisition with a regime of torture, intimidation, and violence that lasted another 60 years. It was later used against the heretics and Jews in Spain.
교회의 탄압에도 불구하고 막달라 마리아를 둘러싼 논란은 가시지 않았습니다.
When people come here and pray, they feel the presence of Mary Magdalene.
정통파를 배교한 한 신부는 프랑스의 작은 교회에 비밀을 밝힐 수 있는 단서를 심어놓았습니다.
Are we looking at Jesus and his wife, Mary Magdalene, and their two children?
신약 성서에서 막달라 마리아는 예수의 부활을 목격했고 그 다음에는 성서에 등장하지 않습니다.
There's no records of where Mary Magdalene, went after the death of Jesus. The church is not particularly concerned, I don't think, about settling her whereabouts.
하지만 그리스 정교회에 따르면 성녀로 추앙받는 막달라 마리아는 예수의 죽음 이후 예수의 어머니 마리아와 함께 현재의 터키인 에베소로 떠났고 그곳에서 죽었다고 합니다.
I would keep my hat on as a historian and say that we don't know. The early sources that we have, she just disappears. Now we do have from the 3rd and 4th century stories about her being a missionary, traveling and preaching in various parts of the world.
그 중에는 막달라 마리아가 로마의 탄압을 피해 작은 배를 타고 순결파가 탄생한 프랑스 남부로 이동했다는 이야기가 있습니다.
The earliest reference we have to Mary Magdalene coming to the south of France and living here dates from about the 10th century.
Mary Magdalene arrived to a place called Sainte Marie de la Mer, it would be St. Mary's of the Sea, then came to Marseille and stayed for years, I would say, preaching the gospel, and then come here for the rest of her life, that is about 30 years.
막달라 마리아는 생트 보메에 있는 동굴에서 혼자 살면서 예수의 죽음을 애도했다고 합니다. 사라지지 않는 전통 때문에 이곳에 있는 유해가 막달라 마리아의 것이라고 믿는 사람들도 있습니다.
When people come here and pray, they are taken by the grace. Some people just weep and they don't know why. They feel the presence of Mary Magdalene.
The later legends that have her in France or have her in Europe, I don't think we can give much credence to. I can't prove that she didn't go to France, but this tomb of Mary Magdalene in France, if it were examined, if it were somehow dated, if it was shown to have earlier levels of history, then that would be a different question.
생트 보메에서 322km 떨어진 곳에 있는 작은 마을 렌르 샤토에서는 19세기의 한 신부가 막달라 마리아와 관련된 신비로운 증거를 찾았습니다.
Well, welcome to the Church of Rennes Chateau, a center of mystery and intrigue for the last 40 or 50 years. And here, in the rather strange symbolism, you will find keys to the mysteries.
주민이 100명밖에 안 되는 렌르 샤토에는 매년 수천 명의 관광객이 찾아옵니다. 19세기의 한 신부인 베랑제 소니에르에 얽힌 수수께끼 때문이죠.
It It is alleged that he found certain documents during the refurbishment of the church which led him to a treasure, something which was grossly embarrassing to the church, and that he was paid up to keep quiet.
그 문서에는 막달라 마리아와 예수가 어떤 관계였는지 적혀 있다고 합니다. 실제로 소니에르는 갑자기 부자가 됐고 교회에서 돈을 받고 입을 다문 게 아니냐는 의심을 샀습니다. 그는 그 돈으로 더욱 의심스러운 행동을 했죠. 교회를 재건해서 곳곳에 상징을 숨겨뒀습니다. 사람들은 이 교회에 비밀의 단서가 숨어있을 거라고 생각합니다.
I think Sonia was actually trying to leave us messages. It's a fairly rare depiction of the Holy Family. Are we looking at Mary and Joseph and Jesus? Or are we looking at Jesus and his wife, Mary Magdalene, and their 2 children? Remember, Jesus was hailed as King of the Jews when he came into Jerusalem, so it was incumbent upon him to have heirs. There is also a statue of a pregnant lady facing the crucifixion. I'm guessing that the pregnant lady facing the crucifix is the Magdalene.
소니에르는 1910년 교황을 거역하고 대중을 현혹시켰다는 이유로 교회에서 파문당했습니다. 하지만 그는 그 후에 교회에 새로운 건물을 세웠고 막달라 탑이라고 이름 지었습니다. 과연 이것이 예수께서 막달라 마리아에게 이름을 지어주었다는 증거일까요? 소니에르는 말 대신 사진과 건물로 교회에서 금지시킨 내용을 전하려 한 것일까요?
Whatever Sonia knew or found, he kept quiet about it.
소니에르는 끝까지 비밀을 지켰지만 50년이 지난 후 교회에서는 막달라 마리아에 대해 입을 열었습니다. 1969년 로마에서 교황 바오로 6세는 제2차 바티칸 공의회에서 공식적인 교회의 교리를 수정했습니다. 막달라 마리아를 매춘부로 묘사하지 않도록 했죠. 하지만 막달라 마리아의 타락한 여성의 이미지는 지우기 힘듭니다.
Mary Magdalene needs to be rehabilitated. She needs to be given the status reflected in the Gospels. Look, all the men ran from the crucifixion. Mark says they all forsook him and fled. It's the women at the cross, Mary Magdalene at their head, that stay loyal to Jesus to the end. When we look at what we know today about Mary Magdalene, I think we're better off than we were 100 years ago. So I have new texts we didn't even know existed. A Gospel of Mary Magdalene, a Gospel of Philip, the Acts of Philip, other documents that mention Mary.
It kind of challenges the whole structure of the way people have learned to think. What these other Gospels allow us to see is that there isn't one story about Jesus, or one version, or even a composite version. There are actually many. So it makes you think a lot more.
Good history is never the enemy of informed faith. And so the two shouldn't be juxtaposed. I mean, whatever we find, and whatever we believe, but we should try to bring those together as much as possible.